Good morning. It is day 34 of moving mountains beneath my feet. I think this is episode 13 now. I didn't start this when I first started this climbing of this mountain, but I've done it ever since I've started. And I was kind of thinking today, I didn't know what to say today, and I just pulled out my headphones and I said, well, maybe it's time to just listen instead of speaking. All right, I'm doing a lot of speaking. Maybe it's time for me to be quiet. So I'm just listening to my footsteps, and I allowed what came to my mind to come up, and the message came. And so last night, I was witnessing. So first of all, I've been exploring VR headset with the Quest 2. I've had that for a while, and it's been sitting there, and so I've been purposely doing things that. Looking for ways to play instead of always working and grinding and, doing things for intentionally to play, right? And so I've been exploring, there you could be a DJ. Oh shit. I'll turn this off here. So I've been playing and finding things to, intentionally play. And so I've been in VR. And, every other night or something, you can actually play there's the DJ decks, the CDJs, where you can mix music and be a freaking DJ. I've been playing with that, which is really freaking cool. And, just exploring what they call in the metaverse. And the reason I'm talking about this is because last night as I was getting off, I have a roommate and he was in a wedding. I could hear he was playing the Quest 2. And he was in there was a wedding going on, and I could hear people congratulating and laughing and jokes, and I was just and there was music, and it was I couldn't see it, but it was fucking beautiful, and I was okay, I have to see what's going on. So I get back in there, and I get in there, and I join the place where he's at, and I see all these people, and it was freaking beautiful. It was I don't know if the wedding was real, I have no idea, but just the gathering of people and the connection and the laughter and the people's sense of humor, it was so beautiful, and it made me think about connection and how the best part of life and probably the hardest part of life is the same thing. It's connection and relationships. Right? It's whether it's a relationship to your significant other or your children or your friends or your coworkers or other human beings who you don't get along with or humans from other cultures. Connection is what we're here for. And connection is one of those things that is just so important to me. And I didn't really know how important it was until I got to Puerto Rico and I met my soul tribe, right? These people that made me feel like I found home, right? I've never felt at home anywhere. I've always felt like I was from somewhere else, and literally another planet. Looking into that, exploring that, I discovered that I'm probably 99/100% sure I'm a starseed. You can look that up, but anyway, long story short is I didn't realize how deep and beautiful connections can be, and also how difficult they can be. I'm sure everybody's had troubles in relationships before, or struggles between other people. And in my journey of truly connecting, I've learned to use, or I've discovered some tools that have helped me in my relationships with other people. The first being a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. There was one key principle that he spoke about, which was seek to understand before being understood. And so this helped me to resolve a major problem in my life with the mother of my children, which was a very toxic and negative, very volatile and bad relationship. And in the end, people just want to be understood. And if you really want to be understood and you have the awareness and truly want to build that understanding, then Stephen Covey was talking about how if you can seek to understand the other person first, they will reciprocate after they feel understood. And so I did that, and it repaired that relationship almost immediately, to the point where I could, be in my daughter's life. But then on top of that, over time, now there's a friendship, now there's ease and understanding, and there's no conflict. This was many years, right? It took many years for that to get to that point, but still, nonetheless, it was a very powerful concept that it blew my mind. It started my really accelerated journey towards learning and growing, because I said, well, if I can apply this one thing and it's going to change my life that much, then what else can I learn? And I went on a rampage. I read 200 books inside of like less than a year and a half, which now I understand was not very smart. I should have read 5 or 10 books and really applied them instead of 200. But I was going after a number because of something I heard. Anyway, long story short is that seeking to understand someone will help you to be understood. And it's counterintuitive. You just want them to hear you. You want them to understand you. But in reality, if you sit back and seek to understand them first, then you can be understood. And then the second tool, the most powerful tool that I've experienced, is attachment styles, learning what my attachment style was. And so there's different attachment styles, and I can't give you a masterclass here, but the long and the short of it is your core wounds, the things that have happened in your life, whether it's in childhood, a lot of these can be childhood traumas, childhood wounds, or wounds developed through your past relationships. Everybody has an attachment style, and they're on a spectrum. And so there's anxious avoidant, or there's anxious preoccupied, avoidant, dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant, and securely attached. And nobody is 100% securely attached, no matter what they say. You're not. You're a spectrum. You're on the spectrum somewhere. But you can be mostly securely attached once you've healed your core wounds. And something else that I heard and learned that I thought was new, for me at least, was, when you think you can heal yourself. And I heard this and it hit me in the face. And the more that I think about it, the more I realize how true it is that you cannot heal relational trauma outside of relationships. You can literally not heal those things, because nothing is going to trigger you. Nothing is going to bring up those wounds. Nothing is going to cause enough pain and movement in you to heal the things on your own. And so there's a lot of people out there saying, hey, I just need to be alone. I just need to heal, and then I can be in a relationship. But if your trauma is relational, you're not healing. You're putting it off your healing. And so it's in that relationship that you can actually heal these things that come up. And it takes really deep, committed work. It's really hard, very difficult. And so in attachment styles, my partner that I've had, she was a fearful avoidant, and I was a anxious preoccupied, which are a perfect match, but also the hardest match, right? It's perfect because you both grow the most, because you each trigger the other in a way that exacerbates their core wounds. And it only works if two people are willing to, hey, let me look at this and let me examine it and work. But if there's two people who are willing to look at that, then you both become way more securely attached over time, and it really enhances the connection. And so I'm almost out of time here, but I would highly recommend looking into the work of Thais Gibson. That's Thais Gibson. She's got a school called the Personal Development School, and she's like a genius at attachment style theory, and you should definitely, I can't recommend her work enough. Anyway, I'm at my time. Have a blessed, beautiful, wonderful day. Thanks for listening.